So I thought, whilst the day is getting a bit longer, I'll go ahead and sort out a couple of the smaller issues with the car that I know I can sort out quickly. One of them was this. That is speaker cable. Turns out the rear speakers were actually cut. Actually, at some stage, the car has run an amplifier for the rear speakers, hence why there's thicker cable here. The original has been cut, this has been cut, so the rear speakers have been dead the whole time I've had the car. So I'm gonna get cracking with yeah, trying to sort out the mess. It's not really an involved job. Crimpers, a selection of connections, some tape and wire cutters, which are in the middle here, and the strippers for the wire. And yeah, that's really it for this particular job. Some of you will know what an S14 rear interior is like without the plastics, some of you won't. So I'll show you right now the limited space that you have to work with on these. So this is the rear. That is the access hatch. That's the boot, or the trunk, as you American people like to call it. So yeah, the boot or the trunk is back there, and this is literally the gap that you have to work with. So obviously, God forbid you've ever got anything big and bulky, because God help you, because you're not going to get it through there. The future plan is to actually get rid of the back seats. I'm going to do something here, but the plan for this centre section is I want to put, well, try to put two 8-inch subwoofers, one either side. I do like my music, so I'll do something fancy with that. So it'll be two subs, and then, as you can see, the curvature here, I don't know, I might make some weird plaque that illuminates of some sort, I don't know yet, in which case it'll obviously eliminate the rear seats completely. Down here obviously you've got the curve, so I might work with something, I don't know yet. I just need to sort of build it all. I might house the amplifiers down here actually hidden, which would be quite a good idea actually. Well done, Ty. See, in here you've got good access somewhat to the rear arches. It's pretty dark for you guys, but a lot of the welding you can see where it's been done, and he's somewhat treated it from the inside, or you know, somewhat treated it. I've got to go in there with the Dinitrol. It's a cavity sealer, so basically spray it in there and it will seal it up. There's a couple of spots inside the car, like down here, so I'm going to pull all this seam sealer off, remove this seatbelt point, and basically just take it back to bare metal and then recoat it. So that'll probably come up. I might take the sound deadening off, just again to have a look to see what's under there. That side is a similar story. There's a bit of flake in here, there's a bit of flake in here and here, and there's also a bit of surface rust there. It's the same again, that side for the welding, it's pretty clean. Now onto the real reason we're in the back of the car. So this is the wiring, red and green is the right, but this is obviously where they've tapped into the feed beforehand, when they've obviously before they upgraded to using an amplifier. So I'm going to peel all of this back, get to the source, take this original wiring out. What I'll do is I'll probably cut up to here, so I've got enough space if I ever want to use the original plug in the future. 9 times out of 10, once speakers have been changed, it's very unlikely that they'll ever go back to stock. Same again for that side. Obviously up here they've actually done rid of the plug completely. All I'm going to do is follow the wiring down, again trim enough off and just crimp up some connectors. So there's the speaker up there, there's the connection, prong and prong. Like I say, simple job, it's just a little bit time consuming. Okay, so immediately pulling off the tape, it's clear that they've already spliced the wire up here. All I'm going to do is peel this tape back, see what condition the wiring's in. If they've done any, well, somewhat of a good job, they would have soldered the connections in here, in which case I'll just cut up here, strip the wire back and put a crimp on that one. Strip back all that black insulating tubing, gonna cut it here. What I'll do first is I'll measure, make sure I've gonna have enough wire to feed under there. Let's do that now actually. So through the top hole, through the top hole, go on some, underneath there, to the prongs. Oh yes, I'm gonna have enough. Right, so feed it back through the hole, and what I'll do is pull them at equal length, and I'll just cut them there, strip them back and put connectors on them. There you go, so they're nice and crimped. I'm still going to run a bit of electrical tape because as you can see there's a bit of exposed copper at the bottom. That one's alright actually, but it's nice to have them nice and insulated, and I'll just wrap a little bit of tape in the middle to stop them twisting. So they're insulated up, and then all you've got to do is just push the connectors onto the female connectors onto the male connectors, and there you have it. Obviously I can't test it until I put the radio back in the next couple of days, but off to do the other side.
One eternity later.
Okay, so now that Steve's done all the welding, it's a case of protecting the inside, everything that on the inside that's not obviously been treated. Down here has obviously been treated, the other side's obviously the same, but the interior hasn't. So taking on Steve's recommendation, I bought a can of Dinitrol, which you have to spray via an air gun. It's got a really long nozzle. You can get an aerosol form, which is what I thought I bought because it was a litre bottle, but yeah, it wasn't, so I'm going to show the inside. Okay, so on the S14s you're quite fortunate that you can actually see the outer skin, the inner skin. Down there is obviously where Steve's done all the welding. I've cleaned it all up using white spirit on a rag. Obviously down there is where he's done all of his welding, so I'm just going to basically spray all of that in there. Cool, so this is the Bergen gun that you need to apply the stuff with. The gun, along with the extension nozzle, cost me about £15 or £16 posted, and the Dinitrol cost me around £14 posted, so all in all 30 quid. I doubt I'm going to use the whole litre bottle, but yeah, so whoa bro, that could have ended nastily in here, but yeah, let's get cracking. So I don't know how well this is coming out on camera, but that side's done, that side's done. Made a bit of a mess of it, but once it dries I'm going to get in there with the white spirit and just sort of give it a quick tidy up. But yeah, all of down there is pretty much done. So
a few moments later.
Okay, so I've spent the best part of the afternoon taking back all the rust from the rear part of the boot lid. As you can see, there's no major holes anywhere. Actually, there's no holes anywhere at all. I did have to, I mean, this naturally would have gone something like that, I think, but I had to cut, well, using the angle grinder, I had to sort of grind this into a nice shape because it was pretty rotten. That was really the only rotten bit there. So I'm nearly done masking up, just got to mask up the fucking cannon, and then I can basically start to stone chip it all up. And there we have it, that's the back stone chipped, and I've obviously tidied up some of the cabling. I did go through that cabling, so I did for the fog light, so I did sort of jig it about, and yeah, so I'm going to come out and try and fit the back bumper now. Nice and aligned. I still can't find a double-sided tape to put the number plate back on, so it's just going to sit in the rear window for now. Obviously it won't seem much different to anyone else, but at least I know that the underneath there has been done, and I think I'm just going to literally work forwards. So yeah, day is nearing the end, so just going to wrap it up for today.
6.5 hours later.
Car's up in the air once again. This time I started quite early because today's going to be pretty hot, so I wanted to sort of try and get everything done prior to midday before it hit sort of 22 degrees C. So let's show you guys what I've been up to. On the floor is the oil cooler and the oil cooler pump for the differential. It used to sit up here, but I've removed it, getting a shitload of rust in my eye. Everyone says that it is worth removing because it's literally just dead weight and it doesn't do anything, so I've just removed it. It also helps to see if there's any rust on the chassis rail at the rear and on the floor pan, but it only seems to be surface rust, so when it comes to tackling that side of things, it's going to make my life 10 times easier. The oil cooling system itself comprises of 2 wires, which I've chopped off because I couldn't get the plug off. I'm going to feed that back into the cab. 2 lines, oil in, oil return, and then you have a line which goes into the oil cooler, back out into the pump, and then back into the diff and the bracket here. Obviously this was rusty, every single bolt with the exception of about 3 or 4 snapped coming out, so go Nissan. The only 2 things that are left to do now is just feed this loom plug back into the cab, bung that hole up, and then take one of these lines off and then just loop it round so that if it does ever feed through, it just loops itself. There you go, so that's all you got to do there, is just simply loop the pipe so that if it does start to pump oil round, you just pump it through there and it go back into the system. Once obviously I'll drop the whole diff, I'll loop it from the top, because these pipes literally go like that and snake up towards the top of the diff. So that's done. All I'm going to do now is feed this back into the cabin and put a bung in there, and also tidy up the tools and see what else I can be getting on with. So, sorry I've not filmed a lot again. I've got a habit of doing this, but it's been painstakingly hot and I've been trying to get the car as clean as possible whilst the sun has been literally scorching my back. I can feel my shoulders and the back of my arms are on fire. So show the car. Here we go. I am one happy man. The car is shining like a good one. I haven't put the side skirts on yet. I'm going to do that later on in the week, same with a couple of the interior bits, but I've literally hosed her down, the usual shampoo, similar trick to what I've done with the Civic. I'll link that here somewhere, but yeah, so I've literally used all the same products as I would have done on the Cleaning the Beast episode on the Civic, because that's what I've got going at the moment. I don't need to top up any of my products, but obviously being the car is black, it has been polished in the past and I found it out for the previous owner, so that's a bonus. It's probably swelled up a little bit because it's been cleaned a couple of times since. It's the first time I've cleaned it in my ownership, and she's looking good. So I'll just grab a quick shot of the front. So that's the car from the front. I'm going to make this quick because the wind keeps picking up and it's making it hard to film. So here we go. Look at the shine on that. Nice and clean. I've swapped the front wheels over because that one was the damaged side, so I flipped them around to see if that makes any difference on the handling of the car when I'm driving. But back to the front of the car quick, back of the car even. So you might have seen that the plate is back on the bumper, and I've also done some proper number plate lights. These are literally universal lights from eBay, using a couple of socket screws, and then all I've affixed them to is, I don't know if you can see there, just a bit of clear acrylic 2-inch wide, and it's a foot long, just so that it reaches from there to there. And the Blitz Nurspec exhaust has also been polished up. That's come out quite nicely actually. Just got to clean the inside from all the carbon, but yeah, you can actually say it says Blitz Nurspec, so happy days, even if it is a bastardly bodged system. Cool, so last thing of the day is to fit an air freshener. This has been sitting in my little detailing box for months, so I don't know if it still smells. We'll test it out. So there we go, he's up on there. I don't know what it smells of, it's just Mr. Nature. Has no specific smell, it just says air freshener. So, oh no, hold up. Yeah, cherry, whoop whoop. Okay, so it's a cherry one, fair enough. Okay, so I'll probably end up leaving the video here. It's been a really long day, I'm absolutely sunburnt, my back's killing me laying here in this chair. So I'm going to go in and have a nice cold shower. Before we end the video, the beginning of this video is probably going to be a bit choppy because there's me fixing the speakers going, oh, I'll show you guys what it sounds like once it's all done, because I didn't know if it's going to work. Obviously it's been working, it's just I forgot to film that segment. So here we go, this is the actual rear speakers fully working.
You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You never let it go. You never let it go. You never let it, never let it, never let it go. Lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot.
As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Stay safe, and I'll see you for another video. Bye.